Why are we standing by and watching as Syrian tanks and artillery are slaughtering civilians? We intervened early and actively in Libya, yet now that a far larger number of Syrians are dying, nobody is doing anything. What's going on? Do we just pick off the easy ones, but let the governments that are better armed kill their civilians with impunity? Why the double standard? Well, because Syria is so much tougher and so much more dangerous. Syria has a strong army and a proper air force. Gaddafi didn't. The al-Assad regime has strong regional allies in Iran and Hezbollah, while Gaddafi had none and was an embarrassment to all. Syria is also a divided country, and the regime still has the loyalty of large numbers of Alawites, Kurds, and Christians. To make matters worse, a war in Syria could easily spill over into neighboring Lebanon and Turkey, where 500,000 Alawites live. The worst case, fighting pulls in the Sunnis and Shia of Iraq and destabilizes what already is a shaky government. So everyone takes a look, shudders, and draws back. And al-Assad and his thugs continue to massacre civilians with impunity. So what can we do? Some have suggested creating humanitarian corridors and safe havens. That's a terrible idea. Have we forgotten Srebrenica, where the UN promised Muslims safe haven, and UN troops then got out of the way when General Mladic marched his forces down the road and massacred the people who had believed the promises of safety and taken refuge? Who would stand up to the Syrian army when it shells a humanitarian convoy? No one that I can see. We cannot promise what we cannot deliver. Okay, then let's create enclaves along Syria's borders and arm the Free Syrian Army. Also not a very good idea. Are the Turkish or Jordanian armies going to defend these enclaves if they come under Syrian fire? Not a chance. And arming the resistors would also provoke the fight that al-Assad is looking for. But there is something we can do. Cut the country off. Toughen up the sanctions, as our government did this week, and go further. Make it impossible for Syrian banks to process payments internationally. Press Russia not to ship goods while al-Assad is refusing humanitarian access. Shame anyone who's doing business with this regime. Shame any country that is exporting arms to be used to kill civilians. Shut the al-Assad regime out of world markets and the world financial system. True, this will not stop the killing tomorrow. Syria is not Iran, however. Cutting Syria off does not push up world oil prices. Tough sanctions against the al-Assad regime have a real chance to work. For The Agenda with Steve Paikin, I'm Janice Stein.
Support Ontario's public television. Donate at tvo.org.